Imagine a sudden, direct military strike. Two of the most heavily armed nations open fire on one another, the United States and Iran. If that happens, does the fighting stay contained within the Middle East? And between these two powers, which side actually takes the heavier hit? To answer that, we have to look back. The animosity between Washington and Tehran didn't materialize overnight. It traces back to a massive political upheaval in 1979, the Islamic Revolution. In the wake of that revolution, Iran established a total rejection of American influence within its borders. That sharp ideological break severed diplomatic ties and set the stage for decades of escalating pressure. We've seen those tensions violently spike in recent years. The U.S. targeted and killed Iran's top military commander, Qasem Soleimani. Iran retaliated with targeted ballistic missile strikes on American positions. It's a situation constantly hovering near the boiling point. But evaluating the true loser of a full-scale war requires looking past raw troop counts. We need to conduct a thorough damage audit. We start with the military ledger. The United States operates the world's most powerful conventional military. This means vast fleets of advanced stealth fighters like the F-35, alongside carrier strike groups and an unmatched nuclear arsenal. In a short-term direct firefight in open airspace, the math is straightforward. The U.S. has the global infrastructure to overwhelm Iranian defenses rapidly. But Iran doesn't plan on fighting in the open. They rely on unconventional deterrence. Iran uses rugged, mountainous borders for defense, projecting power outward through proxy militias. Offensively, their advanced ballistic missile program is engineered to bypass air defenses and strike regional military installations directly. The result is a brutal stalemate. The U.S. would assert control over the skies, but Iran's asymmetric tactics guarantee an inescapable and highly destructive ground war. Let's move to the economic ledger. Iran enters this hypothetical conflict in a deeply fragile financial state. Strict international sanctions have heavily restricted their oil exports, severely limiting their cash reserves before a single shot is fired. The U.S. economy is robust enough to absorb the initial financial shock of deployment. However, maintaining a massive overseas mobilization for months or years guarantees billions in unrecoverable financial losses. A war here quickly shatters geographical containment. The violence immediately threatens the maritime choke points that hold the global supply chain together. Iran holds a major strategic trump card: geography. By mining or blockading the Strait of Hormuz, they can choke off roughly a fifth of the world's daily oil consumption, trapping supply. The secondary effects are immediate. With less oil flowing out, skyrocketing energy prices would instantly inflate the cost of living everywhere and grind international trade to a halt. This transforms the conflict into an economic shockwave. Bystander nations thousands of miles away, like India, end up paying directly for the war through crippling fuel costs and widespread inflation. Now, we have to pull away from abstract strategy and look at the physical reality. A direct military confrontation means widespread damage to local infrastructure. For Iran, the short-term losses are immense. Beyond a total economic collapse, their cities would endure the flattening of essential services and heavy civilian casualties. On the other side, the United States takes on massive long-term damage. They face the tragic loss of American personnel, immense domestic political fallout, and an indefinite financial drain. Here is the final audit. Iran absorbs rapid, catastrophic physical and economic devastation. The U.S. absorbs a crippling, decades-long strategic bleed. So who takes the heavier hit? The truth is, ultimately, in this conflict, there is no real winner. The true casualties are global stability and the millions of civilians caught in the crossfire. Who do you think stands to lose more if diplomacy fails? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more analysis.